this morning. Today I'm going to be sharing with you a very important topic. Um, my topic is going to actually be how to break the cycle of poverty and be financially stable. All right, so that's actually a norm in every country. When it comes to being financially stable, this is what actually have most persons stressed. It also have most persons committing suicides and all different stuff like that because they don't have enough in life to actually sustain them. So it's not something like being rich or trying to be filthy rich or anything like this, but to be a little bit financially stable, like to actually hold your end as a person, as a man, as a woman, as a family, um, whatsoever or whosoever you're actually living with. But when it comes to your personal self, to be financially stable, you don't have to think about making millions of dollars, but you're going to be just making enough just to actually support and sustain yourself or your families. So today I'm going to be sharing with you some tips on how to actually be financially stable. Some of the tips that you may already know, but I'll try to bring a broader light out to the understanding part of it so you can actually get where I'm really coming from. Because most persons have ideas, everyone has good ideas, everyone has a positive mind, also a negative mind. Most persons tend to be positive when it comes to being financial stable, and the negativity out there is actually on a very low profile. But still, it does a person's from being financially stable if even though they haven't have a negative effect or impact upon it. So today, if you're new to the channel, if you're just viewing, um, you can actually subscribe to the channel. It's something I'm going to be doing for at least 5 days per week. It's going to be a live session every morning where I'm going to be bringing out to everyone the encouragement on how to actually go about with themselves, even if it goes to work, how to actually put yourself into the right frame of mind and start getting that financial stable going. Okay, so cause for a lot of deaths is the number one cause for a lot of suicide. Is the number one cause for a lot of persons actually start getting mad from if it's not relationship status, it's actually financial status. So today I'm going to be sharing with you that tip so that if you're in the bracket, if you think of giving up and you're in the bracket of not feeling financially stable or not feeling worthy of life, life is way more than money. Life is worth than money. So if you have life, it's actually a very, very grateful thing that you're doing. And it's something that could actually keep you for a very, very long time. So if you have life and you don't have the amount of money, don't make it a problem. So today I'm going to just share with you that important tips. So as I said, if you're new to the channel and you're hearing me doing that live, you may not actually be able to join the live based on your work or your strategy. You can actually just subscribe to the channel so you can actually watch that video later. And if you have the free time and you want to watch the video, you can actually even share it to someone else who you know may want some little bit of advice and tips when it comes to actually being financially stable, not being rich, just being financially stable, being able to make a vacation when you want, being able to um, give yourself a good treat after a very hard day of work. It wouldn't be like one day, but it can be like an occasional stuff like your birthday or maybe your anniversary or whatsoever actually is dear to your heart that you actually want to celebrate. Then the tips I'm going to be bringing to you is going to be actually an enlightenment to give you that inspiration, that motivation, that strong hold. So when you actually start going out for what you want, then it could be something that actually going to suit you. So today I'm going to give you the first point of how to break the cycle of poverty and to be financially stable. So the first point is that make money from what you like. Okay. In the country, most areas, most towns, most villages, everyone has a passion. Everyone has a passion. Everyone has a self passion. And if you can use that self passion to turn it into making an income, that is one way to actually start getting financially stable. So if you are, I could say, you're good at a skill, um, you may have the tools like being a landscaper. Okay, you may have the tools to clear your yard, clear around your yard, just your home personal use. You may have a chainsaw also to actually trim trees from around your home place, and you may actually just have it there maybe once a month. You use it once every 3 months based on how your yard situate, based on how the rain had fell and all of that. Based on your job also, you may have some free time between your job. You may work at 8 to 1 job, 8 to 12 job. It could be a half day job. You may be even working by the hours. So if you have a tool like a chainsaw or weed eater and you just have it there for your personal use, this could actually be something that you have a skill in. Okay, so you can actually take your spare time. You can go sign contracts to cut parks, go sign contracts to clean areas like business places that actually has lawns that can actually do it. Someone that can be persistent in cleaning, even though you're not really good in that field or this has actually got slow and you have a chainsaw with you also, you can actually um, do a little sign up maybe with cutting over hangings when it comes to like governmental cleanup or any other thing that person might want to get. So there's other persons who may want to actually clear a spot. They may want to do start a farm. They want to get some trees down. So if you has that part of you, if you has that equipment, if you have that amount of stuff that you have a weed eater, you have a chainsaw, that's just an example, and you're working hourly jobs, it's not really the whole day, you have another half day upon this time. This can actually be one way for you to actually go financially stable. Okay, it's a consistent something. It's gonna be get hard sometime. The work's gonna build up. It's gonna be pressuring, but that's how you actually break the cycle for financially stable. So with your paycheck, you can actually bounce that paycheck in. Maybe you can save that paycheck now, and it can actually depend on what you're actually making from your side hustle jobs. So if you have a very good skill, you don't have to be landscaping, you don't have to be cutting trees or any stuff like this, but it can be a skill in any other area, and you actually has that skill and you have a very good knowledge of that skill. You can actually use that on your job platform with your timing. You can actually try to fit in something that you can make an extra piece of money. Okay. So secondly, set savings and expense budgets. So when it comes to like setting your savings and also having your budgets, it should be like something that you should actually have in your mind, like something you should want to do, something you should actually want to put out. So after you actually has a way that you can actually make a side income based on your job timing, then your savings could actually be like you want to make sure that you have equal amount of savings, and also you want to make sure you have like your equal amount of budget. So you don't want to actually start spending because you believe that you can actually make back that money. Most persons actually leave paycheck. They actually think that I'm working a good job where I can actually get that pay again. So you actually start spending. That's actually going to put you back into the same state of not being financially stable. It's not going to let you go out from your part that you may want to actually do a traveling or like try to be financially stable in that area. So it's always good, it's always wise to budget your spending and also budget your savings. So if you want to give yourself a committee plan for saving, you can save like a certain amount of money and you can try to maintain that amount of money you want to save. So this is going to actually be one other way that you can actually start breaking that financial stability. So you can start getting away from a little bit of the life that you used to struggle a little bit to put your money into savings. And putting your money into savings is not like something that you could do and reap the benefits in 2 months or 3 months time. Putting your money into savings is going to actually give you a longer period in life, later in life, that you can be able to be a little bit financially stable in yourself, that you can actually make a trip, you can take a holiday, or you can do the things that you could not have done when you actually start working. So in your young, youthful stage, for any person who's actually watching this live, whether you're old or young or not so old, but the first stage is actually where you bring yourself out, you start making that extra cash, and then the second stage is you start budgeting yourself from a very early stage. How do you spend? What is really necessary for spending, and if you're actually spending, is it really useful? And if you're saving, what amount are you saving and how consistent are you towards your savings? So it's a very, very good way, even though for persons with a lot of responsibilities when it comes to their money, you can still try squeezing at least $2, even $5. It's going to build up. That's what really happens. Just like when you go to the grocery stores, you picked up groceries that's actually $5 here, $10 there, $1 here, $2 over there, until you reach to the cashier, then it builds up to all 70, $80 for the whole items. So it's similar to savings. And if you have that mindset, if you have that on track, this could be actually something that could be fitted for you also. So that can be another point that you can actually start breaking that that poverty life and getting into that financial stable life. My another point is actually spending wisely. Okay. So as I just talked about, when you actually do your savings, you actually try to budget it together with your money. So now you want to start your spending expenses. You don't want to actually start spending because you're making money, as I said. You want to actually start spending when you know that you really need something. Okay, there is wants and there is needs. Many persons actually know it, but they may not have the full understanding of it. But your wants is something that you just see or you just want. And even though many persons has made the mistake that you buy something and then you see it sit in your house or you see it sit under your house and it's actually in no use, and you could have told yourself straight up that you didn't really need that, you only bought it because you wanted it. So try to actually learn from your mistakes, embrace your mistakes, as I was saying yesterday in the live, and try to actually learn from your mistakes so that you don't make that same mistake, which is going to cost you. And that's what actually make persons stick into the poverty life, or make persons don't see themselves actually elevating, because they tends to actually grasp to a lot of different things that is not really important, and things that is not really, like, I can say, beneficial. Okay, so things like household items that you really need, like food stuff, your bills and stuff like that, you know that that's things that you need to do, so you put aside your finances for the things that you need to spend, and that's how you spend wisely. Things like, um, maybe you may have a little birthday, you do a little stuff, but don't actually overdo it. Don't try to actually put your heart upon a nail that you can't actually reach it. So you want to actually take your time, um, spend within your budget, and if you're spending, try to see a way of making back that spending. Okay, so if you have to spend a big money that is for worthy cause, try to see that how you can actually make back that money when you spend it. Even if you has a job, see if you can actually get a side job, as I said. So it's actually a very good way of coming out from having to support yourself on one job, but you can actually multitask yourself and do more jobs. So that's another way of actually getting out from that financial status. That poverty status, and be financially stable. So if you're really rich, you wouldn't be, you won't have $1 million or $2 million maybe, but you may be able to have at least a $50,000 saved by the time now until you actually do your retirement and stuff like this. And this is going to be something that's going to keep you until you maybe want to depart from this life. So it's something that you should think about. Spend wisely, make sure your savings are actually in balance, and also make money from the skills that you has. Don't sit on your skills. um, make your skill actually worth it. Make it worth it. Use it. Make sure you make something out of it. Okay. Also, my next one is going to be like set emergency fund. So that's something I always tell everyone that I actually get in touch with. I always tell them that whenever you're saving money, make sure that you save your money, um, has an emergency savings. Okay, you don't know what's gonna come up, you don't know what's happening, and for most young persons, maybe a lot of persons at the age of 40 start remembering themselves, how they were and where they make the mistakes in lives. So if you're not 40 as yet, you're 20 something, middle 20s, late 20s, or even early 30s, and you're hearing that live, it's going to be something inspiration to you. So young persons, even under the age of 19, 20, 18, I could say, after you actually finish your schooling from high schools and you're looking to get a job, you may tend to actually live a life stating that you're living life. And you wouldn't see the life that you live, you wouldn't see the responsibility that you should have right now at the age of 18, 19, 20. But as you reach at the age of 40, when you should be actually starting to relax or starting to break down the amount of work that you're doing. Even if you're doing a business or whatever you're doing, that you should lay low a little bit or get ready to actually quit the job or actually write a letter of resignation. Then you have to start harder than you used to work when you were young, because you're even older, and by that time you may have your own place, you may have responsibilities that you need to take care of. So for young persons who's actually passing through and even watching the live, or persons who is actually watching the live, and you want your young child to actually start ahead in life and be somewhere in life to make you proud as a parent, my advice is give your child the ability or the encouragement to actually give his or her life um, a focus. Okay, start a focus, put yourself into alignment that you can actually start saving at a very early age. So when you actually reach that later age or a later date in life, you have something that can back you up. You can actually stop working at a very early age. Okay, so it's very good for savings. It may not be in case of emergency only, but it can be in case of your health also for the later future in life. My next one is going to be like investing yourself in having future education, more knowledge and required skills. So as I was saying, you want to actually like make sure that you have a little bit of more knowledge. So you want to invest a part of your life that you want to do a research or something like this. You want to research like where you can, how you can actually gain a little knowledge in another area. So for young persons, I actually say I'm a young person myself. So I see many opportunities for young persons to actually be financially stable. And even though that your parents may have passed through the first lineage of life where they haven't had that opportunity or all that amount of opportunities that is actually being given out there in many different countries for youths, um, you have a time to actually be better. You have a time to actually make your parents proud. You have a time to actually shine that light and actually, even if you have your parents, show them the same ropes that you actually passed through. So invest yourself in areas that you can actually gain skills, gain knowledge, gain education in different areas. So in case later in life, the bigger persons in charge or the bigger persons in life actually tends to give up on what they're doing, or they have reached the stage of retirement and they cannot actually work no more, then if you have a knowledge in that field, then you can actually fit in that field, and that can be a very, very good job for you. Even though you are working a very minimum job based on your skills and the level of education, skills is very important. Um, so the education part, that you know the job, you have an idea of the job, and then you have the skill that can actually get the job done. So this could be a backup for you later in life. So don't only think of making $2 million tomorrow or in the space of 3 years, and then after that you squanderize that money because you don't have a budgeting, you don't have a plan, you don't have stability how to actually save your money and save and buy what is actually necessary. So you don't want to actually break that cycle, but you want to start your life like making it actually happen in a way that is going to be actually profitable for you and also for other persons. Um, my other part is actually pay off debts. Okay, so even though like many persons who is actually in poverty life may have make a lot of money and still they're actually in poverty still, you may actually wonder to yourself, why has that person working a very, very good job with a very good salary and they still can't afford to actually mend up with their bills or to mend up with their other stuffs? It's because you have been actually borrowing, maybe you have been borrowing money from other persons, friends, relatives, and you're actually not paying that back. So the time that you actually start getting a job, you start continue borrowing money from different persons and you're not paying it back. So eventually when you start earning good money, then you have to start paying that back, which can actually affect you very later in life. So this should be like the money you could have saved, and that have to be the money that you have to use. So if you have any debts while you're actually moving, if you borrowed money from a friend or neighbor, relatives, whosoever it may be, you start getting your pay, it's very wise to actually start paying off that debt. Don't let that debt spill up on you, and then afterwards you are in like a crossroad. So you don't want to be in a crossroad, and even though you're thinking about lending more money from persons, you may actually take a loan also, and that could lead to a debt that you has to pay that can even define you in more poverty. So if you has a house and you take a loan that worth $20,000, $30,000, and you're based on your job, or you have lost the job, or you have been a little bit careless with your life, then you're gonna lose everything and you're gonna be like in a worse situation than you are. So think hard, give yourself more focus. Um, Make sure that you have a plan for your life as a young person. Make sure you planned out your life. It wouldn't go the way that you want it to go, but have a plan. Have something that you're working with. Have something that you want to reach. Have a goal. Put yourself to a task that you want to actually reach a certain goal, and put yourself in that, I could say, in that alignment to actually get the job done. So this is how most persons today have been accomplishing most of the things. It's because they have stick the goal upon the wall, in their bedroom, in the living room, maybe wherever, in their phones, whatsoever is actually close to them. And they keep that one focus in their head and they continue pursuing. And if it doesn't work out, as I said from my last live yesterday, if it doesn't work out, that doesn't mean that you fail. It just means that that part of it is just not for you. So you don't need to give up. You need to see that as a way of learning so you can twist yourself and actually it's gonna work out in a better way for you. And later in life, when you look back upon your past, you can see that the road that you were actually traveling in wasn't actually the road that you really wanted or would have been suited for you. So it's very good to pay off all debts, and if you're taking loan, be very careful on the type of loan you're taking. Um, and if you has very good investment in different areas and you want to invest, also be very careful in what you're investing when it comes to shares and different stuff like this. So don't try to actually run off to make fast money, but make sure you have a knowledge and a skill and actually you have an understanding of what you're doing. So you can make money in many different ways, but make sure you know what you're doing. Make sure you have a clear understanding of whatsoever type of strategy you want to make money with, so you don't get yourself mixed up and losing all your hard work by the end. So my last one is going to be like plan for retirement. Okay, so after you work all your jobs, after you work for your day, after you work um, years upon years for a certain company, or maybe years upon years for your own business, then it's going to be a time that you're going to have to retire. That's where the best part of it comes in, as I was saying yesterday also. It's a very good part that when you start working very hard and you meet the goal, you meet the threshold, and then you actually reap more benefits than you actually expected to reap, and you're very satisfied with your life and the way you're living it. But don't forget to mention that you should actually put God in your life also, so make sure you have that there. Make sure you, I could say like, get in your church, make sure you come close to God for whatsoever He has done for you, and you can actually see that as an opportunity, open-minded, to actually help someone that you see is going to actually take the same road that you had taken for a few years back. So everyone is actually in the same boat. Everyone faces the same problems. It shouldn't be a reason for persons to give up on life. It should be a reason for you to maybe associate with the right set of people or start seeking help. Okay, don't be afraid to start seeking help if you start having a mental breakdown in areas of financially being stable and you think that your career is done or your life is done. I have my life here. That's what I'm trying to do, trying to help everyone make it because I know that everyone can make it. And even myself, I haven't come out from any rich family to say that I have inherited anything from my families where that they had amount of money or amount of assets that I actually inherited, and I am actually rich today because of my parents. I started from zero, and I'm building myself still. And if there is other persons who is actually looking at me, if there's many persons who know me, so is viewing from Grenada and have known me, they can see that there has been a difference with how I were and where I am right now. So that's why I'm saying that everybody, I believe that everyone can make it. It's just a mind, it's just a focus. Set a goal and start going after the goal. And by then, persons who is in better situations than you gonna see that you're actually pressing towards a goal and they're gonna support you. So the support comes by you first starting the the, um, the race. Okay, so you want to buy a car or you want to build a house. The first thing you have to do is seek a piece of land. And by seeking a piece of land, you may go to different persons and you may offer that you're not that rich, you don't have the money, you can't take a loan based on the amount of money you're getting from your job, and you're not sure how long your job's gonna last. So you may want to do like terms with them, like you want to take the land and pay down on it as you go. Um, by then, people's gonna see that you're interested in actually finding a future for yourself. And with young persons getting away from thieves, um, growing up to be a burglar and all them other stuffs like that, this can actually open their eyes and see that out of a village of maybe 20, 40 persons, there is at least five, six young persons that are willing to change their lives and to be impact. And by this five persons changing their life, being helped by the persons in villages, can have the other percentage of youths actually start seeing the life differently also. So it's youths that encourage youths. If a youth start getting big in life, then another youth can see it. I have the experience from it, so that's why I am speaking from it right now. So another youth gonna see it and he's gonna actually want one day be someone like you or be similar to you. It's not really something that you should be like someone, but it's really good that they have gotten the mindset that they should actually start working on themselves and building up themselves and being better in life. So today, this is what I have for my life, and for the persons who have not joined, I know based on their work, but when you come from work, based on your subscription to the channel, you're gonna see the live pop up, and if you have the time, you can go to the live and you can actually comment, and also on the most of my lives, if there is anything that you want to purchase, as I said, from Amazon, you can find most of the links under there. So under the live, the links are clickable. Under my videos, the links are not yet clickable, but you can actually copy and paste the links, and I think you should get where you actually want to get. And even though you haven't get any information from the links, you can comment under my videos directly. I can get into contact with you, and then I can send you the links so you can actually start purchasing. Or even if you cannot get it from YouTube, you can follow me on my Facebook page or my Instagram page, also my TikTok page. I got some of the links there, but I actually prefer that you come to Facebook because that's where the links are really clickable. So you can actually just touch on the link and it's going to take you straight to and get whatever you want to buy. So thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you all another time soon in another live. And as I continue going, I'm gonna make sure that I bring enough um, experiences, what I experienced, what I know, what I've learned, to most of the youths out there who just coming from school and who is trying to see it as a hard life. I know it's kind of rough starting up, but as you continue going with the mindset, with the motivation, with the plan, everything is gonna fall in place. It may not be every exact thing, but things are gonna fall in place that's gonna give you motivation to continue going. Okay. And if you need any help, you can find me on any other platforms. As I said, my profile pic remains the same. It's Dorrel David. Dorrel David all about. I haven't changed the name. TikTok I think is 1 to 3 at. So you're gonna find me because it's the same profile pic I have for my YouTube. I have it for my Facebook, my Instagram, and also my TikTok. So anywhere you go and you find that profile pic, then you know you're on the right track. If you're not sure, you can actually message, and after you follow, you can message me and make sure that it's the right person you're talking to, or you can view the profiles and see. So thank you all for watching, and I hope that this live had bring very good inspiration to a lot of persons, and also to persons who's going to be watching in future to come. It may not be something that everyone's going to grasp right now, but later in life, I hope that that's going to change a lot of lives for a lot of persons, and also for most of the parents who may be watching and wants their children to actually gain a better future. You can actually have them come over to my TikTok lives, my Facebook and Instagram lives. I'm going to be doing the same thing there also, trying to encourage everyone to actually make it because I know they could. It's just hard work, determination, and get the job done. So even though you have seen me on lives besides here on other platforms, and there is clickable that you can join, or you want to send an invite. I will be able to invite you. You can come in, ask me any questions. I'm going to answer you based on my experience and what I think that person should actually know. So I'm going to be heading out now, and see you all in another live soon to come. So I'm going to be live in later on Instagram. Sorry, I may be doing a piece on Instagram, but I'm going to be more doing a piece on TikTok. Okay, so trying to get myself familiar with TikTok. And from there, if you haven't met me here, you can meet me on TikTok. See you all in the next live.